Now, Scotland may have been joined politically to its southern neighbour England for 300 years, but the latest polls suggest many Scots want to break free of English ties, effectively dissolving the United Kingdom.
Support for independence has grown since the Scottish National Party's win in its own national parliamentary elections in May. Alan Fisher has more.
It doesn't feel like crossing a border. It doesn't look like a different country. But then around the world, many people can't easily tell the difference between England and Scotland.
This is the river, this is the bridge that marks the physical border between England and Scotland. Both are part of Great Britain. Let me explain how that works. The people of Wales, Northern Ireland, Scotland and England vote for MPs who sit in the national parliament in London. It decides on issues such as defence and foreign policy. But for centuries, Scotland has had its own legal system, its own education system, its own church, and since 1999, its own parliament which deals with more local issues. Since May, a nationalist government has been in charge of that parliament in Edinburgh, and it believes that Scotland would do much better if this border was real and Scotland was an independent country.
The people of Scotland gave the Scottish National Party control, but as a minority administration. It was a dramatic victory, ending the traditional domination of parties committed to a union. Now installed as Scotland's First Minister, SNP leader Alex Salmond believes his party's victory is a decisive step towards freedom.
What we're proposing is not in any sense separation, it's independence. Within the context of the same monarchy, within the context of a social union with the peoples of England and Wales and Northern Ireland, but a Scottish Parliament which is independent, which has the right to raise its own revenue, control its own resources, control all its own spending, decides whether or not it gets dragged into illegal wars, like in Iraq, and represents itself in Europe and in the councils of the world.
There has been talk of SNP breakthroughs before. Margot MacDonald was at her husband's side when he won an important victory in a British Parliament election 20 years ago. Now an independent in the Scottish Parliament, she believes the split's coming, but not just because of her former party.
There's been a natural movement ever since we signed up to Europe, I think, when people realised that other small countries can be full members of the European Union. Why can't we?
Most of Britain's oil industry is based in the waters around Scotland. The SNP believes if it was independent, it could take control of revenues, creating a Celtic tiger economy. It's 300 years since this border last marked the line between two separate sovereign nations. The opinion polls say the majority of people under 35 support the idea of independence. So it may be that Scotland will be able to return to its past through the generations of the future. Alan Fisher, Al Jazeera, on the England-Scotland border.